Yes, gentlemen, I'm looking that side because I moved my camera, so I'm not used to having it here. It's forced to have it. Very weird, very weird. What's up? What's going on, y'all? We're back. We have good internet. Everything's gravy. Everything's Gucci. I've only lost 176 frames in the last 40 minutes. Life is good. What's going on? We're back here for snare casting. We're back here for some Pinnacle Cup, and we are back for some potential disappointment. Game is going to break my spirits and break my heart because I desperately want both of them to win somehow. We've got Viking, who've become like one of my favorite European teams. Just so much fun to watch them play Dota. And then you've got Team Spirit. You've got Toronto, Tokyo, Harare, Paris, Soweto, Seoul. Actually, Soweto Seoul sounds dope. I'm gonna call him Soweto Seoul for this one. Just so many good things, so many good things. So I am quite excited. Yes, it's gonna be a barn burner. Let's go. Let's rock it. Viking GG playing on the dire side. Remember what the stakes are, by the way, before we get into it. Loser is done. Third place, it's over. No possibility of getting yourself into the grand finals later tomorrow against Winstrike. That's the stakes. You win, can still win the tournament. Can still win $50,000. We won't talk about it that much now, about how much I do not think that the distribution of prize money is adequate, but I never think that's the case. And it never is, to be fair. So let's get into the draw. Team Spirit. I already am very excited about game one because Spirit, they have the Miroslav Mirana. They've got themselves the Toronto Tokyo Puck. Viking GG, they've got themselves the Aramis Enchantress. No, the Celery Enchantress, sorry. Whilst also having themselves the Boom TA. There's no way this will not be exciting as hell. One thing though that they're going to be looking out to do on the side of Viking, I do think Viking as an overall team has better team fight in the sense that when this team is team fighting together, their targeting is quite good, their selection is quite good on who to go for. But Team Spirit, when it comes to just like lane dominance, but in particular movement in the mid game, this team excels. Even teams that are like a tier above them can learn a thing or two about how to move around the map. And Team Spirit in this matchup already haven't gotten themselves heroes which enable that. You have the Mirana, you've got the Clockwork, you've got the Puck. Extreme amounts of mobility no matter where they go on the map.
5 seconds remaining.
And the thing is, this presents a situation where pretty much any heroes that aren't with other heroes on the side of Viking suddenly are in threat of dying no matter where they are on the map, no matter who's nearby them. The jump is just insane from Team Spirit. So Viking will definitely have to make sure that whatever heroes they pick up now, it's heroes that don't necessarily mind playing as a team in a big unit, not having to necessarily go off into the wilderness and find farm by themselves. So I do not want to see hyper farming heroes like anti-mages and the like. Whatever carry they pick, I want it to be like a Juggernaut, a Lifestealer, a hero that fights early, gets involved, gets online. Cape Town Kathmandu. I already used Cape Town earlier. I used it, what did I use it with? But I only took the Cape part. Didn't I say like, I forget, yeah. It was like Cape, some European city, I forget now. For those of you who don't know, we're playing a little game here on the channel. I want to see how many different cities we can put together for Toronto Tokyo's name. I think the one I've happened upon which I like the most is Soweto Seoul. That's it. Yo, that sounds so cool. Yo, now I need to actually get to a tournament so I can go talk to Toronto Tokyo and be like, listen man, I've got this new hype for you. Let me put you on some gas. Anyway, we see now Viking GG grab themselves the Nyx Assassin, one of the better heroes versus Puck and Clockwork. Gives them their own scouting across the map so that they can see the engagements coming. You know when you're playing against Puck Clockwork that there are going to be a lot of smoke ganks. So you pick one of the best heroes in the game at breaking those ganks. You don't want to pick a Baron? Great, you get yourself the Nyx Assassin, some better activity for your side, and you also have access in this game to the mana burn, which is going to be huge against the Puck as time goes on. Team Spirit. Still don't have anything for Collapse or for Yatoro next. I think we get the Collapse hero now. Wait, they don't have last pick, so maybe you actually just pick up the Yatoro hero now rather. Yeah, get the Yatoro Morphling. If they had last pick, then they would leave that for him, but as it stands right now, pick him up the morph. You already see what the support duo is on the other side. You know that these heroes, it's not like you're playing Morphling into Lion, for example. This is Nyx Enchantress, and there are some things that can bother you about this matchup, but actual kill threat that goes directly against you as the morph, not really going to be coming in all that often. So you give yourself as many opportunities as well to stay safe, stay fighting. Viking, you're only really afraid of this TA as morph if she gets online, if she starts to have a bonkers performance. Viking. Now I have to deal with the Broodmother. This is interesting. So we've seen a lot of these Broodmothers like demolish these lanes that have like Medusa. I've seen a Morphling lose a lane, not get dominated though, but just lose. And I've seen Medusa in particular seems to be the one that gets like rocked to her core. Now that the Broodmother is picked up, I actually kind of think, initially I was imagining that they would put this Clockwork in the top lane, right, as a support that side, and have the Mirana support the Morphling as a harassing hero nearby. So they have one of two ways they can go about this. You put Mirana bottom. With her presence there, I'm imagining that Viking might have the Nyx Assassin Brood on that side of the map. You at least have arrow to store them up if the Morphling ever gets impaled. But honestly, with Brood in the game, I prefer the Clockwork down there. Ensure that there's no possibility of Clock running down the Morphling. You still have this Mirana on the other side of the map to deal with this Enchantress creeps. And I also think that whatever lane you put top lane for Team Spirit, it also has to be a lane that has the potential of this Mirana rotating middle to help out Puck as soon as level 6 is grabbed, or to already be in position so that when Puck makes his first rotation based off of getting level 6, level 7, now you're already in position to throw in the arrow, you have that additional damage. The only thing though now is that they'll be picking the Collapse hero blind. They do not know what Shad is going to be playing. Almost certainly means that whatever is picked up right now for Collapse is going to be counted in the lane. It is what it is. Let's see, options. Oof, Axe would have been so nice. Maritzburg, Moscow. Oh, that's the most epic shit in the world. Thank you, thank you. I haven't actually seen Kezu play a Brood game in an official. I've only seen his Brood in pubs. It's okay. Bear in mind, now my standard for Broodmother is old 11, so yeah, he's not old 11, that's all I'm gonna say. Just a normal Broodmother player, it's all good. Pango Band by Viking, and they take out the Drow as well as the Wraith King. Oh, they actually do have last pick for Spirit, but they still decide to go for the Collapse hero. Shad will be playing the Ricky here. Chill, Viking do not want this game to go long at all. They are, whoo, they fight all the time. There's no cooldowns on their side. Broodmother takes over one side of the map. As Brood is doing that, TA ideally is snowballing off of mid, and Ricky, you're able to get a lot of farm in the lane, start humbling up with your team to get quick and easy kills. Nyx Assassin or Broodmother can scout out where the opponents are for you, so you have a lot of vision in that regard. TA can get in first, provide a little bit of cover. You as Ricky, you come up, you clean up. He's a Diffusal bait buyer, so you have Diffusal on Ricky, plus the Nyx Assassin having mana burn, make life complicated for the Morphling. This could work actually, this could work, this could work, this could work. But Team Spirit, what do we got? What's Collapse playing? Oh, he's playing Centaur, of course. Did I mention it? I feel like almost every game I mentioned that Centaur should be played, so I'm just from now until forever, I'm until the end of this meta, I'm bookending that. Assume I mentioned that someone's gonna pick Centaur. So, now that they do have the Cent, I think it was the only realistic hero in this game, giving you Stampede in tandem with having the Mirana. Lovely combination, as you know I love. Also have this with the Puck, so sometimes Puck will be in this catch-22 situation. He initiates a fight with the Dream Coil, but then there's nobody there to help follow up. With Stampede, that's not really an issue, can close the gap really fast. Also, because they have this Clockwork, and they have Puck, and they have Mirana, and they have Morphling, and they have Centaur, this goes back into the mobility advantage that we were speaking about earlier. If anybody on Viking is caught alone, you are dead very quickly. The team can close gap in a short span of time. Only this Broodmother's fairly tanky, but everybody else, or maybe TA, they don't have that many easy ways of getting through the refraction charges. They also have now 2 to 3 ways of starting a fight: Centaur, Puck, and Clockwork. Viking, in the meantime, they sort of, like I was mentioning earlier, rely on being strong enough that they can form a sort of unbreakable shell, an unbreakable unit together, and that never goes awry. God, I hate custom with clean feed like this. All right. Do you have faith in Bangkok, Paris? All right. Are we doing this joke forever? I hope we are. I hope we are. I love this joke. Coming off of that draft, how do we feel? How do we feel? How do we feel? How do we feel? Personally, I really like what I saw from the side of Team Spirit. I do feel like their draft is a little bit easier to play out as well. There are some difficulties and some peculiarities that will come with playing for the side here of Viking GG. In particular, I don't think any of them can afford to have a bad lane, and I do not like Dota that does not afford you the opportunity to make any mistakes. That's that kind of Dota is scary. That kind of Dota is hella scary. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see what ends up happening here, as the first game between Viking GG and Team Spirit slowly but surely getting ready. Ready. Well, if my video source would work here. Happening. What's going on? Sometimes I actually really hate Dota 2. There we go. I really hate actually I don't hate Dota 2, let me not lie. But there are some things about the programming, things behind the scenes that I am not so enthused about, But anyway, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are into this. Game number 1.
That is some illegal gameplay right there.
Although we don't have audio for some reason.
I like what I see.
Alrighty, there we go. So let's see how this is all gonna pan out, right? So the big thing for me in terms of what this game means and some of the things that we can expect to take place and happen is whether or not, right? And it's a big if, it's a very big if. Whether or not the side of a Viking are capable of playing at a fast enough pace to actually ensure that these heroes from Team Spirit don't just get super strong. If they get all their levels on Team Spirit and they get like some decent degree of items, I think the game does favor them, just because their execution is a lot easier to pull off. You know, eventually this Morphling will just go burst somebody down, move on, not have to worry about life all that much. So let's see how this is all gonna pan out, as here we go. Game number 1. Bangkok, Paris, aka Maritzburg, Moscow. Out here in the mid lane. Top lane, we actually see there might be small engagement there, but nothing doing. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Still though, we do have a situation here where between the harass going out onto collapse, you know, he's not going to be happy at level 1, but doesn't really matter. With Miroslav being here, he knows for a fact that the Sacred Arrow will deny and remove any advantage that Celery tries to advance in the lane. Ooh, that's a good point for Jareen. Yes, Quake for Brood. I'd say Quake for Brood is better than Kezu Brood from what I've seen, but you know, Quake for is also just an annoying hero extraordinaire, so it is what it is. This mid lane here is one that, you know, it's been very interesting watching Templar Assassin lately. She's been losing matchups that she used to dominate, and she's been winning matchups that she used to get dominated in. It's been fairly strange, but Dota evolves, and thus the received wisdom that we all operate under should change as well as time goes on. In the top lane, one of the sucky things for Viking is that once you get to like level 3 plus Ring of Health, it's literally impossible to harass Collapse anymore unless you kill him. And it's unlikely that you're going to kill him with Ricky Enchantress, especially with the Mirana being nearby. It does mean they're going to have a lot more of a free time in the laning phase for Collapse than we are going to have for Shad. Also, the thing with Celery, Mirana is not just picked in terms of being able to destroy the creep, but her animation and her harass potential versus Enchantress, who normally wins the harass war versus the opposing support given the presence of the impetus. But even with impetus being online, just the raw damage potential from Miroslav is really problematic. We take our first look down here to the bottom lane. Well, no, I say that, but cameraman has no interest in bottom. He's like, Waterman, what the hell, man? I don't care about water. We'll come back bottom when the water turns to wine. Miroslav might be first blood here. Does have the triple leap though. Sacred arrow misses, so that's gonna be Mira. Yo, Mira has ice rolling in the veins. My god, I would not have had the discipline of play to get myself into this situation. Mira won't have arrow just yet again. We're playing very, very carefully. Collapse is now level 3, has the Ring of Health. Now he's fine. Now he's just gonna be a-okay. He's gonna sit in the tree so he can get more of his HP back, but he knows that he's not really gonna be bothered in this lane anymore. And you do take a look bottom. Yatoro hasn't turned into wine just yet, but even the cameraman has to take a look. We have a situation with the Morphling versus Brood. Not really a lane I foresee Brood being able to do all that much against Morph. One of the reasons why this Broodmother hero has been doing so well against heroes like the Medusas, Luna as well has been another hero I've seen being really affected by Broodmother in lane, is these somewhat immobile heroes that can't fight against a hero with that much sustain. Well, Morphling, a very mobile hero and has no problems fighting against sustain. So as we can see, farming very, very well there in that bottom lane. As we see here just in the mid lane. Oh, very nice hoof stomp. The arrow doesn't connect onto Shad, unfortunately, to follow it up. Came close. Had the arrow hit, Shad would have been in a very uncomfortable place right now, but it doesn't. It's fine. Everything's fine. So we're having a fairly slow early game here, which I do think is kind of important, right? Because the last thing you want to have happen is to lose out on a game because you look back and you're like, ah, we actually went a little bit too aggressive there. Yatoro is farming to get himself. This is a D-Lance build this game, seems that way. The one person on the map though who will not be happy with the fact that everything is super static and it's turning into an easy farm fest is going to be that Templar Assassin. She wants to, not too long from now, be able to advance out on the map and play aggressively, and that's always easier when your opponent is under-leveled, under-farmed. Oh, Miposhka, very nice block of the camp there, preventing the pull from Aramis. Actually might kill Aramis here. Battery Assault, this is a crazy spell, y'all. 10-second duration. Fortunately for Aramis, does have tranquils as well as the spine carapace, so survival will be had. Everything will be okay.
That is some illegal gameplay right there.
With Mira at present, just finding himself in a situation where he's trying to stack more for his team. If you look top though, this is where there's going to be some concern for the side of Viking GG. They've had to leave Shad here for a little bit, right? Because they needed the support to do more on the map. So Celery went off. Unfortunately, this did mean that there was a alone time between the Centaur and the Riki, which Centaur will relish as that effectively means free farm for him. Finish the Vanguard in the meantime of that. Smiposhka might die here, slowed down by Psionic Trap again. Battery Assault helping out. Already popped the Spy Carapace, they get the slow, and the catch up from Boom will get the kill. First blood drawn by the Templar Assassin. Yo, Clockwork honestly is not picked enough. Hear my words. When it gets to the major, Clockwork, Ancient Apparition. Just be ready, y'all. Just be ready. And Nyx Assassin. Clock AA, Nyx, Abaddon. Every game. Top lane, Dreamquell. We spoke about this in the draft. Miroslav wants to be able to unleash the arrow. Wasn't able to do so. Man, that's like, oh my god, that was so sick actually. I'm very, very impressed by what I just saw. So, they recognize with the Enchantress, Celery is like, well, I'm not in the top lane. How can I help Shad survive despite not being able to put my own body there? What I can do is ensure that this creep I still have control only runs in front of this Mirana, prevents her from throwing out an arrow. It won't help me save the tower, but it will guarantee that Ricky stays alive. And indeed it does. They do get the tier 1 tower top though for Team Spirit, so they're still happy with that. However, Boom does pick up his second kill of the game in the mid lane, staying at the very top of the net worth charts, trying to snowball here. So this is how it needs to keep progressing for the Templar Assassin. Aramis. Kezu trying to run down Neposhka will succeed in doing so. This is a dead Clockwork. Yeah, see, back in like one of the reasons why you can put Clockwork in the laning phase now versus this Broodmother is because she doesn't have the spiders until later. So she can be very effective at buying space for the carry hero, but once spiders are online, Clockwork is just food for the Brood. Collapse. Just wants to get the early farm going for his team. I love the fact that it's Yotoro who's sitting as if he's poised to try and go for a quick kill here onto Shad. The arrow from Miroslav does not connect, so there's no opportunity for a kill. Let's take a look here. Barca Beijing is level 8 right now, almost has the Witchblade, just needs the recipe. Once they have that recipe, they should maybe have level 6 by the Moonlight Shadow from Mirana, so then we can anticipate some kind of rotation elsewhere on the map. Right now, just playing Ring Around the Rosies with Celery. Power Cogs will come out, okay. Barca Beijing easily gets a kill by picking up Aramis. They will lose Miposhka for this though. So 5 traded for a 5. Well, actually 5 for 4 because Aramis is playing 4 in this game. Arrow from Miroslav connects onto Celery, and that is going to be the 5 that's actually brought down. Soweto Soul gets himself a double kill. Jareen, it depends, right? There's been a lot of different Broodmother builds. The E-Blade build was like one of the first ones that I started seeing a lot. But then I started seeing more the AoE effect Brood. Oof, this was so nice. This is also one of the big things that they have on the side of Viking against Morphling. The smoke screen silence into Impale, Mana Burn pretty much guarantees that they can catch him and prevent him from using Morphed. And they can kill him. Mid lane though, they get off a Dreamquell looking for the Templar Assassin. Arrow connects. And they will be able to clean up and find that kill. Woo! Big plays coming in right there from Hanoi Edinburgh. That's a killing spree actually for Hanoi Edinburgh. Big kill as well to bring down the TA right after losing Yatoro. If they don't kill TA there, it's a really good portion of the map for the side of Viking, but because they do, now they might actually kill Shad. Shad gonna get caught inside Power Cogs. There's gonna be a stolen smoke screen. Okay, Yatoro jumps in, silences up Shad, will not allow the Ricky to play his own game. Turning his own tools right back against them, and now without a Ricky being online, this tier 1 tower is going to be fairly difficult for them to mount a defense for, since Yatoro can just get in behind the tower to scout out who's there with the tricks of the trade. Aramis tried his best to potentially like impale and to deny, but not gonna happen, as Yatoro will now grab this tower in the mid lane. I actually hope in this game, now that I think about it, I think Keizo should go for like a AoE utility build just to keep his team alive, more sustained. And we saw he actually had queued up a Pipe of Insight. Good towards middle. Dream Quail. Ooh, just off the mark there. Just off the mark. So, Atlanta Osaka will find himself in a situation where he's still farming though. And because of the fact that we do have a build-up of Keizo decided to build Pipe, he's not going for like E-Blade, not going for Orchid, which is another big build I've been seeing from these broods lately. Does mean that there will not be that major silence onto Puck. Still though, if they surround a solitary hero on the side of Viking, they kill them really quickly. And we see that happen now with the Centaur. Mira might also be in some danger here, getting chased down. But he loses life. Shad jumping in on him, will be able to bring him down with the blink strike. Toronto Tokyo losing mana. Nice pushback on the power cards from Miposhka. Buys enough space for the Puck to be able to walk away. In the meantime though, Yatoro is busy farming the dire jungle and forcing out this top wave towards the tier 2 tower. So despite the fact that they did take a successful fight, someone has to put top to defend instead of being able to just continue advancing on the map. You're hearing every sound effect twice. Yeah, there's an easy way to remedy that. I'm pretty sure I know what the situation is actually. And there we go. Problem solved, right? Problem solved. Sorry about that. Cover your ears the first time around. Movement now. As we see the entire squad smoked up. They want to try find a kill somewhere on the map. No easy targets just yet. Boschka. Smoke will break. Celery. Position correctly. We haven't seen that many super aggressive moves from Aramis with the Nyx Assassin. The one move did find Yatoro inside the dire jungle, but at the time Yatoro was the one that was playing hyper aggressively and needed to get caught out there. Mira able to get rid of an observer ward on the high ground. Oh, so the problem is that because of they give me this clean feed, right? And the clean feed itself has its own audio. But then I have to watch that feed, obviously, to watch the game. And I'm watching that feed, but the feed itself is also running like individually through OBS. So what sometimes happens is that for some reason, right? This happened in the previous game where the volume on OBS will just die inside like the internal feed on OBS. So then I have to enable the audio on the external feed, but then sometimes it randomly comes back and doubles up the audio. It's very annoying. It is what it is. Yatoro getting closer and closer towards this Manta style. Nice initiation middle to reveal the blink dagger. They find this catch with everything onto Boom. Hoof stomp, arrow, hook shot, illusory orb, even committing the dream coil from Toronto Tokyo. And with that, generally speaking, this is the phase of the game where TAs wants to be able to get a big kill and turn that momentum into the Roshan pit. This time around though, it's Team Spirit who kill TA and want to turn that momentum into taking Roche. And without Templar Assassin, I frankly don't believe they have the damage to fight this. They're gonna try for it though. Moonlight Shadow used up, beautiful impale by Aramis, and there's going to be tricks of the trade onto 3. Can they get collapse out of there? Moonlight Shadow keeps him alive, but not for much longer. Does still end up losing his life. Yatoro stole away the Ricky form, jumps back in. Arrow doesn't connect onto anybody, but they still found the silence. Double Starfall. Shad still able to blink strike away to safety. Now a Templar Assassin back in the fray. As she approaches, they know that there's more damage than they can deal with on the side of Team Spirit. So Boom wants to finish this off. The Roche gets arrowed now. That's not the arrow you wanted. Can they steal this? Toronto Tokyo is gonna be a hook shot. from Miposhka. He's actually gonna steal it. In the meantime, Silence came out onto Yotoro. Yotoro is still fighting, still alive. Wait for him onto the high ground. Miposhka does die. It's only the first life though. Gets popped. Will happily come back and die. Happily. Any day of the week. Everybody else escapes. They lose collapse, sure. But does allow them to prevent the Aegis from being taken. Crazy big play right there from the Clockwork Goblin. Genuinely keeps this game as even as it is. If they get that Aegis from Viking, I think that they look super strong for the next few minutes. But without it, without Aegis, TA will not fight without BKB. So that buys more time for Team Spirit to get their farm up, especially on Yotoro, who needs to be able to catch up. He's been being threatened all too often and not spending as much time farming as he would like.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I love how Yotoro is buying E-Blade. Puck is buying E-Blade for let's see, Beru Atlanta? Yeah, Beru Atlanta, I'm fine with that.
Radiant are scanning.
Yotoro now has officially surpassed Ricky in terms of farm. And because they don't have this Aegis, still allows Team Spirit to feel adventurous about moving onto the map to try and find somebody to bring down. But Viking GG have been playing extremely intelligently. Kezu monopolizing and dominating this bottom portion of the map. The rest of his team making sure to never really be going on forays where an important hero has a real risk of dying. I mean, Ricky is just posted up top, but it's fine.
Radiant's
Oh, hey, Saiti, what's up, fam? What's going on? Yeah, indeed. If the was a little bit more damage, or if they just had like a medallion on somebody, maybe they got that Roche, but they don't. Chad top lane will try to kill this Mirana, will succeed in doing so. Might die for his list though, as he gets hook-shotted into with the Dream Crow committed as well. Yotoro gonna be there, and they punch him down, and Ricky will die. It's a mega kill streak towards the Morphling. Hashtag worth. You will debate like that any day of the week if it results in your team getting such a high value target in response. That finishes the E-Blade as well for Puck.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now we've got an insane amount of damage available here for Pyro Cincinnati. Oh gosh, Morphling with refraction. Oh no. Say it ain't so. Don't say such mean things to us. And we out here, Sadie. I'm glad I'm out here as well. I missed Dota these last couple of days, and with everything just being major for the next while. You know, I like these little side tournaments. They're fun. They're enjoyable. Not least of which I don't have to, when I'm watching them and casting them, I don't have to think about the pain of being excluded from DPC twice in a row. Feels bad, man. Chad and the gang just quickly pick off Miposhka, take him out. Doesn't really get them anything on the map, which has seemed to be a bit of a problem for Viking. Despite them having more kills, only like 1 or 2 of these kills have gotten them something off the map. For the most part, it's just like a kill that forces them away from their own jungle. Now, Arrow will connect out onto this edge. Celery, definitely gonna die here. So now what will they do though? Do they want to wait for the next potential Roche? TA, I don't know if she has BKB. Kezu is woof. Pipe, mech, Orb of Corrosion, Soul Ring at 21 minutes, moving into a Greaves. This is my favorite kind of Brood build, if I'm honest. Let's just make sure nobody ever dies and see what happens. Unfortunately for them, there's a lot of drafts where so long as you're able to make sure that you have mass more survivability than your opponents, you guarantee win every single fight. Not necessarily the case versus drafts that have Morphling, but you do drastically increase your odds of winning out that fight. And now we see the final item to finish up the trio. Blink Dagger up for TA. So Blink Death or BKB. If there was ever a time for it to be go time, it's gonna be, well, not just yet. Shad is so close to BKB of his own. Literally 300 gold. So you wait, you farm this out, then it's gonna be go time. Mira. As things slow down here in game number 1. Must remember the stakes. Winner of this goes themselves all the way to the grand finals tomorrow to play up against the side of Windstrike. Victory which could change everything. You're not playing at TI or in the major. Might be your last time at some real scratch for quite a while. You need to grab this opportunity as hard as you can. And now that they have the double BKBs, I cannot possibly see a reason to wait. I mean, Kezu's 500 gold away from GG boots. So maybe you still wait for that. But it feels very frustrating because you know that you're not just getting these items for free. Farm is happening on the other side of things as well. Centaur looking for a heart. And they actually might try to take a fight here in the top lane. They just don't have vision. Aramis, he might find a huge impale on the 2 with the smoke screen on both of them. Ricky there instantly with the damage, getting the double kill. Collapse has to get out thanks to the Moonlight Shadow. They can't afford to stand that close together. Massive, massive, massive play there. Gonna get them the tier 1 tower top as well. I mean, I forgive them a little bit for their positioning, right? Because where they were standing, if you're standing where they were, there is a little bit of blind vision that you have versus the dire side at that point. So they were positioned as best they could to give themselves the chance. Oh, arrow will connect onto this Nyx, but Nyx is gonna die now, definitely. Brought down by Yotaro, goes back in, steals the Nyx form. He's like, Impale is a nice spell, huh? You enjoy it, nah? It's nice, nah? Okay, let's have fun with it. Still, that will not bring back the lives of his compatriots in the top lane. They did get the tier 1 tower bottom, as well as put some heavy pressure onto the tier 2, so not all is lost in that situation.
I'm dead.
It's fine, it's fine. So now, in retrospect, right, given what these last 7 minutes have been like, with Viking being the ones to, for the most part, press the tempo, moving aggressively, absorbing the aggression that tries to come out from Team Spirit, given what we see, now it seems even bigger that they failed to secure that Aegis. Imagine they had the Aegis during that period of time, had all the tier 2s, or at least an additional one at this point. Viking, looks like they're smoked on the map, but at the very least considering a smoke. But nah, they just smoked heads up. Give us someone to jump. Detroit Dar es Salaam. Just chilling in the mid lane here, hiding in the trees, waiting. In the event that there's a jump. Don't reveal yourself. No. Detroit Dar es Salaam. Stay chilled, man. Stay chilled. So game has slowed down a little, just a teeny bit, I think the primary reason for this, nobody really wants to be the person that's like, yo guys, let's go, let's make this jump, and then afterwards things just go south for you. So, and we're seeing what Viking are playing like. We did discuss this earlier. They're just gonna play all the time as a massive unit. Miposhka now finding a hook shot. They get onto this Nyx. will get brought down, and Shad jumped in. BKB activated, wants to try to bring down Miposhka. There's going to be the tricks of the trade. Smoke screen will prevent any spells coming in from the Centaur, but Centaur is taking no damage. Look how tanky this man is. Yotaro will steal away Shad's form, but because of the BKBs, the smoke screen will not silence anybody else. Aramis
Dire's bottom
buys back, wants to be re-involved in the fray. But Yotaro will drop the stolen smoke screen. Although, we do see jump back in. Hofstorm coming in from Collapse. They burst Aramis. It's going to be a dieback from the Nyx Assassin. Stampede forward. Still, they end up losing their puck. But Yotaro looking for revenge. Boom. Does not have access to BKB. But with the 4-star forward, they keep him alive. Smoke screen catching out onto 3. Hofstomp on 2 now. Collapse. What can he make happen here? He's buying space for Yotaro. But looks like space is the only thing he can buy. There's no damage on that side of the fight. And without Toronto Tokyo being alive, they do not feel super comfortable rushing forward for this one. And hookshot though. Collapse. Follows this up. Shad. Ooh, literally gets 4-stopped into the arrow. But they don't have vision. What? Mates? Dust? Something? Mates? Shad? Oh my god. If there was still the old range of the sentries, not the new range, I'm 100% sure they see him. But the nerf of the sentry radius ends up being instrumental in keeping Shad alive. That is insane. Well, I thought that Celery... Actually, Celery is a god. If that Celery is forced off, Celery both forced off the TA away from the Morphling in the river and might have forced off the Ricky into the safer position in the middle of the river itself, away from the sentry vision. Crazy, man. Is the stream lagging again? Don't say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Roshan potentially being attempted right now. Yazu looking to solo it with the Orbital Corrosion. Gonna be fairly difficult. Collapse. They find and kill Aramis very, very early. So no Aramis, no Nyx, no buyback. 5v4 around the Roshan pit. Not the easiest 5v4 in the world given the heroes you have to play into. Vitoro. What do we get next for the morph? BKB eventually? Alright, Scarly BKB. I like Scarly BKB. I like Scarly BKB. Collapse. Ooh, this is huge. They find Kezu. This is gonna be a big kill, bringing down the spider there. Miroslav getting brought down by Boom in revenge, but this is definitely gonna cost the life of the Templar Assassin. Right click down by Yotaro. Collapse also finding the hook stop back onto Celery. They snag out the Enchantress too. 3 heroes having fallen. Aramis just came back from the grave. No, the display is extremely washed out. It's extremely washed out. The monitor is completely fine. I'm getting a clean feed, so this is not my normal Dota. The feed itself is what I have, and that's unfortunate. I can brighten it up again, but yeah, let's get it brighter again. And then what I'll do is I'll brighten it up more, and then I'll just deepen the contrast a bit. So a little bit less washed out. There we go. It's murder on my eyes now because on the main screen the blacks are like really black, but I'm okay with it as long as it means you can see a little bit more clearly. Miposhka got a Dream Coil out. So they thought Shad was in the vicinity, but Shad is hiding on the other side. And they have a gem. Miroslav, if he was able to walk past where Shad was, they would have had the vision and found the kill quite easily. Collapse. Not that he does have heart. Looks like he wants to get the overwhelming blink for himself. Baroda, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. That's where the clean feed is coming from.
Is under attack. Dire's bottom
They take out the tier 2 tower down bottom with the Morphling. Still had this Aegis for your Toro. Now the question is going to be whether or not Viking can stop this somehow, as the push is coming thick and fast. Team Spirit. Okay, your Toro pops the Manta. Arrow will catch only onto this illusion. Smoke screen down. Gonna try to put as much damage out as possible. Collapse is also just gonna stand here, tanking up damage himself and letting the tower effectively kill itself. And he knows they don't have enough in the tank to kill him easily. Woo! Celery almost died to the E-Blade. Arrow flies forward, actually connects onto Celery. But they have bigger fish to fry. They just want the tier 3. Impale does catch 2 heroes and there's a massive mana burn. Yotaro does start morphing. There's gonna be the damage coming in from Boom. They can't kill Morph just yet, but they eventually will. Spawn Spiderlings gets the kill. And now they need to try and escape. Yotaro waveform away. And now that they've already lost the Aegis, tier 3 tower will be the extent of the spoils gained. Time to retreat. Almost. Ooh. Damage going here for this fight with your Toro. Arrow connected onto Aramis on the back. The Toro and Maposhka still alive. Mech gets popped and the Toro, ironically enough, steals the next assassin form. Arrows being thrown back with power cogs preventing any kind of easy movement. Shad is able to jump over it, but now Miroslav with the gem is able to suss out the fact that this Ricky is here. What a time to press blink or press leap. If he doesn't press either, there's a guaranteed kill on that Mirana, and then they claim a gem for the Ricky team and for the Nyx team, which is crazy. But fast fingers for Miroslav. Wait, what did they give the gem to actually? Seems like he's dropped it now. Who's carrying the gem? So we're going way back to see how this Aegis got took in the first place. You just look at the damage from your Toro. This is not even a very strong Morphling, honestly. Doesn't have the Skadi yet, no full BKB. Most of his damage is from the shotgun. Hey man, we don't know what kind of production PC they're using. Maybe things are struggling that side. It is what it is.
Radiant's bottom tower
Here's you.
is under attack.
Look at this push down bottom. My god. Tier 3 towers are gonna die. They need to come back and defend this. Centaur gonna be the one that does the boom. Miposhka! 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 Woo! That was sick. That was sick. Setting up now for Collapse to jump in with the stun. They set it up to follow that up also with the puck. Top lane though, Yotaro in trouble. Actually manages to get a double kill by bringing down both supports by himself now. Trying to man up here versus both Boom as well as this Ricky. And I don't think this is gonna go the way you boys think. Leave your Toro alone. Leave your Toro alone. Leave your Toro alone. Yeah, run away. Run away. Run away. He gets a solo kill top on 2 heroes versus effectively 4, whilst they manage with an incredibly sick catch onto the Broodmother to bring her down. And now they actually want to set up for the fight. Collapse, he's here, but since Collapse is here, they have to know anybody else is in the vicinity. Okay, Nairobi Nanjing gets off the Dream Coil onto this Ricky. There will be a smoke screen though, preventing more movement from Toronto Tokyo. Okay, Nairobi Nanjing pops BKB. Collapse jumping in with the overwhelming blink, finding out the puck. Boom will pop his own BKB. TP out will be there, coming in from the Shad Ricky. Holding out in the tree is going to be Aramis, who does manage to get away to safety using the Vendetta.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Bottom. Because there's a Siege Wagon Nose coming in here, their waves thus still manage to remove the tier 3 tower from play. And Collapse, oh, jump forward, not going to be able to find the hook stomp onto Aramis, but Aramis is going to die regardless. All the heroes are around him, it's only Yatoro that TP'd bottom. Oh god. Baroda, I really and sincerely hope that there's nobody that is reading these ideas from you here. My pubs have been ruined enough thanks to Morphling. We do not need more inspiration for that to happen. Still though, right now, a really good game for the side of Team Spirit, being able to claim themselves lots of kills on the map. They do lose a tier 3 down bottom, but they look to be the team that's readily poised to take the next Roche, and I really worry about Vikings' ability to prevent them from coming up the high ground.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Top lane now. Team Spirit coming in for yet another way to get forward. You have to constantly worry about bottom though, because Kezu gonna keep doing this stuff, man. And oh, this needs to be. This is kind of scary. BKB is popped from this Shad Ricky just to try and flee away. This is still hanging in the balance right now. Anything can happen. Anything can break the current deadlock that exists, because despite there being a 10k gold lead, Team Spirit definitely don't want to go up on to the base until they have an Aegis. Although I do personally think that collapse is big enough that they might not need one, just in terms of how much effort it will take Viking to kill him. By the time they kill him, there's nothing left in the tank for anybody else. Yeah, if Centaur, I don't think Centaur needs Axe though in this game. If he gets a free one, yeah, but given that honestly the only hero who you somewhat worry about might die is the Puck, but Yatoro and Collapse are not dying again this game. Let me just I will be deeply surprised if either of them die again in this game, and if they do die, if they die more than once. The effort incurred in bringing these heroes down is just astronomical at this point. And they know. That's why they can leave him to, even if there weren't any heroes behind him, they could leave him here, just bait and try open space, waiting for this next Roche.
Is under attack.
Once the big man spawns up, the question is going to be, how will they take it? Yatoro forcing them, doing the Kezu thing, will force them to come home. Oh, mid lane or in the river. The jump in, Aramis as well as Shad. Shad pops the BKB, but there's Aghanim Scepter now on the Puck, so he's stunned up for a really long time. So they will be able to kill Shad, bring him down. Aramis will take a tumble as well as Yatoro pumps in the damage. Two heroes having fallen. Boom, able to get the Hurricane Pike over the Roshan pit, blinking to try and get to safety. Will he get out? Yes, he will. And they also managed to send the Centaur down bottom, and Yatoro, they actually got the range racks in top. Yatoro's gonna go back and finish this off. Why the hell not? And at the same time, they found Celery. Celery's gone.
May you ride on.
Oof. Oof, 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 oof. And with Yatoro back in the base, finishing this off. Gets hexed though. Doesn't have an Aegis, but still does have a attack. Dude, you can't kill him. He just got the nullifier now, but whatever. Not gonna make that much of a difference. Well, now after that buyback, that is a huge commitment of gold. So they're gonna go back into the Roshan. Soweto Soul already has access to the Aghanim Scepter, and it's an Ags on the Roche, so this might actually go towards the Centaur, just given that it's free. If it's free, it's really good on Centaur. If you have to build it, it kind of sucks, but for free pathing. Yeah, man, give me. Naposhka will actually arrow forward. They find. Boom. Ah, that's it. That's GG. Yeah, I'll call it GG. Like, no cap, no jokes. Just. If this was IG, they'd call it right there and then. Right there. They'd be like, GG, well played. Let's go with the next one. Because what are you supposed to do? Now fight's coming. With Aegis, Cheese, who did they give the Aghanim Scepter to? I didn't see. Aramis is drawing them away on a bit of a merry chase here. But... oh, he survives. It's actually fine. It's good. The Spike Cap has actually kept them alive because the illusory orb from the puck actually clipped the Nyx,
Dire's middle tower.
giving enough time for an escape. They... what? Okay, look where Yatoro is, right? And note that there are no Radiant heroes around him. So that means he solo killed Shad. Yes, game's over.
That is some illegal gameplay right there.
Top lane, Kezu getting gone on here. But they can't actually find a way to bring him down, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Nice Catman doesn't get that kill. And a jump in. Look at how much damage Yatoro is taking, and by that I mean not much. Now they're looking for both Celery and Aramis. Celery has bought back, so can't afford to die now, nor can anybody else really, because buybacks only really available for the Broodmother. Collapse finding a stun onto said Brood, but they don't really care about this right now. Buildings are the priority, which now that they have been achieved, retreat will easily be mounted here by Team Spirit, because they could care less about killing you. They're like, meh, you buy back without getting anything from it, you go right ahead. Very nice impale connecting onto the Centaur as well as the puck. Considering jumping back in, the hexes will be there, but it doesn't really matter. If it was War and Rain, if it was IG, VG, I don't know, Viking would have already GG'd out. If it was no ping, Celery would have already rage quit. And if this was War and Rain, they'd already be on the phone trying to bribe the rest of Team Spirits to throw this game. Good shot. Ooh, beautiful done there. Unfortunately, although they try to counter him immediately, they're onto Boom. Boom refraction gets chewed through by Yatoro, popping BKB on the Morphling. Do they have enough to bring down the TA? Undoubtedly they do. And Boom is gone. Does have buyback. Chad almost loses his life, does manage to get away through tricks of the trade. Toronto Tokyo though, he's the one that's falling very low. TT will die. Alright. Soweto Soul cannot survive everything, but Yatoro now just wants to focus back on these melee racks. The smoke screen from the Ricky will prevent the damage thanks to the mischance, baby. Still alive. Aegis about to finish. Gets popped right now. Leaps away by Mira, getting jumped on. Can he TP out to safety? No, he cannot. Getting bashed up, getting killed. Now a Hex flying forth onto Yatoro. Collapse. Can he open up the space for his Morphling? Morphling gonna be able to do that himself. Double waveform. It's good enough to buy quite a lot of time. There was a buyback here from the puck, so it seems like we might have a jump back in, but nothing happens. Okay, cool. It's an expensive fight from both teams because they had to buy back on Boom on the side of Viking. Earlier on they bought back on Shan in like a similar period of time, so now for the next 5 minutes neither of them can lose their lives or suffer an even heavier penalty than what they've suffered already. At the same time though, at the same time, we did have an extremely expensive buyback from our puck, so
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Khartoum Neisner, what can he do here? They jump back in, they burst, Kez. Whew! Alright, just buyback. If you have buyback, use it. I'm glad that they just do it. No buyback available for Brood. Oh, Shad? Shad? Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Shad is dead. Triple kill for Yatoro. No buyback for the Ricky. Boom! No! Getting caught in the mid lane. What just happened? Yeah, I just called it. It's late. You should have called this a while ago, to be honest, but GG, well played. Whew. Dredgehawk, this was Morphling 8th overall pick, I think. Yeah, I think it was 8th overall pick. No, it was 7th pick. It was 7th pick. They had picked the Morphling, and then Viking picked, I want to say Broodmother. Yeah, then they picked Brood, and then Team Spirit last picked Centaur, whilst Viking last picked the Knicks, I think. No, Ricky, yeah. They went 9th pick, Ricky, and then 10th pick into the Collapse Centaur. Team Spirit, though, find themselves with a dub, grabbing game number 1 versus the side of Viking GG. Looking quite good in the process. I think the thing for me about that game wasn't just about like how they played on the map from the side of Team Spirit, but there was clearly a better understanding of what they needed their team to do. I think with Viking, there was an understanding of how the team plays, right? So basically, here's how the team plays. Here's how the team must play to win. And there was a fairly large delta in between what they had to play to win and what the team naturally is comfortable being able to do. As to our Team Spirit, it was this. This is Team Spirit. This is what they want. Tons of kills, moving around the map a lot, not having to worry about like big team fights, not that many high cooldowns, just action, victory! And then it's awesome. Viking, I do think Kezu, whenever I see Viking look really good, I see them look really good on heroes where Kezu in particular is the active person on the map. He's the one that's playing the axes, the centaurs, getting forward. And not just playing them to soak up farm, but he's specifically getting forward. Whenever he gets forward and he opens up that space, that's when I think this team looks at their best. Without that though, yeah, it's a little bit complicated. It's a little bit complicated. So with that, we now have a 1-game lead at the moment for the side of Team Spirit. They're 1 game away from booking themselves a ticket into the grand finals against the team of Windstrike. We will figure out who will actually be going into that grand finals shortly as we go into a small break. Game 2 is being set up as we speak. And then when we return, we'll get into the draft and see whether or not Team Spirit can make this a 2-0 or Viking will force us into a deciding game 3. In the meantime, as we get ready for that, make sure that you're all following the channel if you aren't already. Also, if you're enjoying yourself, come say hi in chat. Hang out with us. Let us know what you think. Also, consider becoming a supporter in whatever way you can. There's various ways you can do it. You can become a supporter by subscribing. Farmer Fat Shappy did it earlier today. What a god. You can decide as well to become a patron through patreon.com, where bonus content dropped for y'all the other day, as well as some new content for everybody. And of course, you can just decide to make a one-time donation, which makes literally all the difference in the world. Rent was being paid, or rent was paid today because of your help, because of your donations. And I cannot stress enough how much help that you've been. So thank you. And with that, we're going to be going into a short break. Game 2 coming shortly, so don't go anywhere, and we'll be back with some more Dota 2 action.
Do you wonder?
Success remaining.
When it rains, fucking pours. Well, I have some bad news to give y'all. Unfortunately, in about 40 minutes, I'm going to be losing power again.
Radiant team back.
Yay! Yay! Very excited. Very excited. Anyway, let's hope they play quickly. Team Spirit versus Viking. This is the lower bracket finals. Winner of this, who now I hope it has to be Team Spirit so we can see it happen on fucking stream. They go up to play against Windstrike tomorrow for 50k. Lots of money on the line. This matchup could be the difference between being able to afford rent and not. So let's see what the two teams are able to give us here today. Team Spirit playing on Radiant side, reprising their role. Viking GG on the Dire. We had first overall pick of the Toronto Tokyo Puck. Interestingly enough, right, we saw in the previous game, they have to watch out for Leshrak. Like, we'll talk about these first couple of picks, but Viking, ban Leshrak. Ban it now while you still have time. Jareen. So what happens is that here in South Africa, we have... I'm trying to be euphemistic here. A government in name only at times. So one of the major issues is that for years, we had major supply issues with power about a decade ago, and our government still hasn't dealt with the issue. So periodically, every now and then we'll get notices that, hey, you're gonna lose power for a few hours, get ready. And unless you have like a full inverter, full backup generator, all that kind of stuff, things that cost more than I have, you're screwed every single time. Feels bad. Oh well. Let's make the best of what we have. Let me not be mad. You know why let me not be mad? Because you are right, sir. We do have Kezu Axe. We have Kezu Axe, which means Viking probably wins this game, to be fair. Going to be a much better performance from them. They have Axe, they have Lion, massive amounts of burst, lots of control. Even through the Oracle, they actually have ways to be able to help themselves fight against this hero. I mean, hell, if you have Cutting Blade, very often what ends up happening is that the Oracle is the one that is either the first target or can't close the gap before Cutting Blade comes out and the hero dies regardless. Lion. Also very good up against the Puck. Quite happy to see this. I do think they should ban Lesh. I'm going to talk about this for a second, right? The reason they have to remove this hero, we already saw Team Spirit utilize the collapsed Leshrak, playing with a lot of sustain behind him with the Muboshka Abaddon. And the Abaddon Lesh combo, as strong as that is, pales in comparison to the strength of Oracle Leshrak. So you have this Oracle, you have the Leshrak, potentially, we don't see it just yet. I don't see why you wouldn't pick it, but you still have like Oracle Morphling, Oracle Huskar. There's so many different ways of playing this out. Hell, they could even just straight up pick the Death Prophet right now and have that big ultimate for themselves. You would ideally though like some attack speed, help yourself to deal with this Undying. Mira could play the Marana again, it's not banned in the game. If he has the Marana, you still have Moonlight Shadow, but the big thing is the leap attack speed to help you take down the Tombstone. And there we go. Yep. Do the right thing, fam. Do the right thing. Just pick Marana. Mirana. Do the right thing. Oh, Jireen, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that.
10 seconds remaining.
Not all of you who live in parts of the world where you don't have to deal with power cuts being a feature of your life. Trust, you are blessed. You are blessed. You are blessed. Viking now will go for, there's a Boom Shadow Fiend, an old classic into the mid lane. Given that this is Boom, we are expecting the right click build to emerge from him. And it does seem like the kind of game where that would go over quite well. If Axe is able to initiate with a call, you don't necessarily always want to just have magical burst to follow that up. Sometimes you just want a hero that can do this. And other heroes die. And Shadow Fiend is definitely a hero that just does this and other heroes die. If he builds us a right click build, that is. Team Spirit now. So I think here's where we're going to see what this Oracle is being paired with. Is it Lesh? Is it Morph? Is it DP? It can't be Medusa as that's banned. Is it OD? What is it? It's Lifestealer. Okay, so it's not the, this is not the actual combination. So whatever happens, probably Lesh. I still have this feeling that Lesh is coming. Good game for a Lifestealer. Now also with the Marana, there's two heroes that have a ton of attack speed to try and bring down the Tombstone. Positioning of the Tombstone is going to be hyper vital here for Celery to make sure it's not in places that get easily taken down. You have a hero that can, especially as the game extends, go into the Shadow Fiend's face and fight him. It becomes somewhat of a gamble at certain points in the game as the Shadow Fiend to be like, can I survive long enough to get off the Requiem through his rage? We'll see. On the bright side, they do have Axe, so can cancel out the rage TP out. The laning phase isn't just a free lane either, whenever Axe is involved versus Lifestealer.
Remaining.
Team Spirit, he banned out the Drow Ranger. Drow Ranger, Drow Ranger, Drow Ranger. Why am I making it seem like a bit of a pathology? Well, now what Viking need, you need like a stable hero. Boom will give you the punch, but you want somebody else in the mix. Maybe some Jug or something. Razor would have been fantastic. Maybe not Jug, you're playing against like Lifestealer. Razor would have been the most based, too based. Simply too based, my friend. Well, what will be the pickup here? And from Viking, you see that from Team Spirit, we do want something in the off lane. They banned the Lesh. They don't ban the Lesh. Okay, Tide Hunter banned, Centaur banned. Here comes Leshrac. Just pick Leshrac. Make me feel awesome. Pick Lesh. Come on. Viking can morph. If they do morph, I think Boom would have to play a more Yule style of Shadow Fiend. But the potential is there for a morph. The only issue I have with morphling for Viking is that they can get ran over in this game. They have like Sand King, Lifesteal, or Puck. And play a very fast pace. However, you do get to a point where you no longer get bursted even by these kind of heroes as a morph. Shad gonna play here. Wow, Shad is actually playing the Axe. Well, that's actually not a wow. Like, those of you who've been watching the stream these last couple of days, since like last week, the constant refrain that I've been saying, going into the major, strength lane, strength heroes in the safe lane, that we're gonna see it almost every other game. And we start to see an example of that here. Axe being played in the safe lane as Kezu last picks this Enigma. They give themselves some absurd team fight in the draft. You have this one hero that no matter what stage of the game you're in can always turn around the entire game. Because there's no BKB piercing disables from the side of Team Spirit, once you pick up the BKB Black Hole with Lincoln Sphere, then that's it. You're gonna get the Black Hole off every time. It's also one of these lanes that, although it's not a free lane for Lifestealer versus Axe, the lane is somewhat better for Kezu if he's playing Enigma. I see this vision from Viking, but I feel like a lot still has to come together for it to work out. I And I still think Enigma as a hero from the off lane isn't the fastest. When I think of a Kezu hero, I want a hero with a bit more pace than the Enigma. Gonna get a ton of farm on this hero to be sure, but the Axe does, yes, but that's why you buy Lincoln Sphere. That's why you gotta buy Lincoln Sphere. That's why you gotta buy Lincoln's. God damn it. No, I forgot. Forgot to change. How do we feel about this, y'all? How do we feel about this? How do we feel about this? I am gonna go. I'm gonna go Spirit actually. I do think they have a lot on the side of Viking GG, but like I was describing in the previous game, right? The issue for me when it comes to this level of Dota, right? When you get to this level, skill doesn't matter as much because all the teams have such closeness in terms of the skill. There'll be one player who's like a little bit further ahead than everybody else, but the difference isn't large enough that one person, gone are the days where just because someone has more MMR than you in a pro game, they can carry the team to victory, right? Doesn't necessarily just come down to drafts either, because, you know, drafts can be anything. Comes down particularly between the gap between how you want to play Dota normally, how your draft now demands you play Dota, and how the two end up synergizing in the game itself. This is one of those games where I think that the synergy, the one place it's a bit off for Viking is for Kezu, right? I'll be honest and say I would have preferred him playing, even if they wanted to play like the Axe though, could have been some Centaur or something instead of the Enigma. However, Team Spirit yet again have a draft perfect for them to play. I mean, look at this. They're already smoked up. Moving in, rolling deep. Trying to make sure that they are in a position
30 seconds.
where for the most part we don't expect any major struggles. They want to be able to get off these early pickups of these bounties, walk away, start the game fresh. Also, just to remind everybody so that there's no surprises later, I'm putting a counter at the top left hand screen. I'm actually going to, hold on, I should name that counter even.
The battle begins.
Alright, so the counter's out. Just so y'all know, and you're prepared for when calamity strikes. Young Shaps, are you also being load shed tonight, huh? So, we have a pause just as it's the beginning of a Dota 2 game, so what would it be without a young pause? Just to set the stage for us.
Axe likes this very much.
Ah, yours is already off. Feels bad, man. So y'all see Farmer Fat here chilling in the chat. I'm pretty sure he's watching off of his phone right now, because he also is suffering the same issue as I am. Surprise loss in power, and he's not had power for a while. Yeah. Saint D. So where I used to live before where I live now, I used to never suffer this load shedding because of where I used to live. Was right next to a church, up the road from a police station. It was good times. It was good times. Now I'm just a pleb, like everybody else. Feels bad. We'll see though in this game. One thing I do think that they do have a very big advantage from on the side of Viking. In the previous game, we surprisingly saw Toronto Tokyo do really well middle against the Templar Assassin, but in this one, I do think that the Shadow Fiend, Boom Shadow Fiend is terrifying. He should be able to dominate this matchup pretty hard. If they win this game, it's going to be off of the back of Boom's SF, as are most games whenever Boom wins. So, you know what I have to resort to in order to make sure I'll have internet while my power's out? Because I don't have an inverter. I used to have one, but it was the works one, so they took it back.
It's simply too based, my friend.
I'm busy I have like one of those small MiFi routers, and I'm busy charging it up right now. And then I'm gonna take out the SIM card from my phone and put it in that MiFi router, and that's gonna be my internet. It's gonna be good times. The reason that Lion has a CS already is because he was able to find a D ward. People are just having some lags from Mira. Oh god. Don't lag,
That is
Mira.
some
Don't
illegal
do it.
gameplay right there.
A big deal about this particular game as well is, as much as I'm saying that I'm not sure about the pace of how Kezu can play this game out, on the
That
one
is some
massive
illegal gameplay
beyond
right there.
bright side, it's like huge deal for the side of Viking GG is the fact that they will always have the team fight advantage. There is no team fight that Team Spirit can take where they'll feel favored. If it's like a full 5v5, everybody has their spells. As a result, it means that the game itself becomes much more important for Team Spirit, excuse me, in order to make sure that they get the most out of this early game before the mid-game bunch up. In the previous game, honestly, the only trouble that they ran into on the side of Viking is the fact that the execution of their heroes didn't really fall neatly into how the team itself wanted to play the game. But there were a lot of scenarios in game one where, especially in the mid-game, Viking looked poised to be able to turn things around. They just happened to miss so many of their timings that they didn't get much. However, they are not going to miss any timings with Boom Shadow Fiend. Man just knows what's up too much. See him here in the mid lane, challenging our dear boy here of Soweto Soul. One thing I actually wonder, right, and I always consider when I see like this this Paris Phoenix puck play, is whether or not the team that's playing into it actually feel like you know, you see puck, right? Do you still have that fear? Because I know early on in the meta it was like, oh god, puck, oh top lane, it's sort of fall very low but doesn't end up dying. They're actually laning this aggressively here from the side of Team Spirit, playing with multiple heroes into this top lane, and they find the first blood by being able to kill Mira. Celery draws it, and nice Earth Spike by Aramis will prevent Yotaro from being able to chase down the Undying, and Celery will just happily skirt on away. Everything's Gucci, fam. Everything's fine. Big pickup being able to get that, and now off the back of that kind of movement, the question is going to be asked whether or not they will be able to get more kills, or if that's just going to be the first flash in the pan and just back to farming immediately after this. The idea was to make sure that this Lifestealer lanes up versus the Axe. So if the supports are able to keep each other busy, then you do have Axe versus Lifestealer, which will favor the Lifestealer in this situation. Get up. Oh, gets a courier kill. Might cost them his life. Let's see. Celery. He's the one that's now in trouble. Fortune's End was there. A couple of right clicks. They get the kill. Shad comes back to try and track back onto Miposhka, and they will be able to get this kill. Shad gets arrowed, but Aramis still able to find the Earth Spike, so the kill will happen regardless. Okay. I'm seeing how this is all panning out, what's happening right now, and the way it's looking at present, it does seem to favor most certainly the side of a Viking GG. Kezu's firming like our boss. Because they're playing this tri-lane into top, there's nobody to interrupt the Enigma, so has a effectively free lane. Sure, Sand King is also getting a farm here, but you know who you'd rather have with an excellent start to the game. Sure, Enigma can catch up, but when Enigma accelerates, it gets so much farm. Mid lane is going really well. Boom is dominating versus the puck. And even the top lane, yeah, sure, being outfarmed by Yatoro, but you got the first blood. You're still getting your own farm with Shad. So, laning phase, very good for Viking right now. You're enjoying life in all portions of the map. Aramis might die here. Arrow connects onto him, and Mira. Ooh, what a heal from Celery with the Soul Rip. But unfortunately for him, there is still going to be a Purifying Flames. And they are able to get this kill. Hey, ha, hey. My voice is Mr. Steal Your Goal, chaps. That matchup is like, it's boom favored. Any SF matchup middle is boom favored. You could be watching a matchup in South America and boom will show up to play the Shadow Fiend and win that lane. Mira. They're doing a fantastic and fine job in the top lane with these two supports. I think the good job here being done primarily is to just make sure that these heroes have to stay here. You can go nowhere else. Stay in this one little area of the map because you know that you're winning the other matchup so handedly that you are very happy to allow this particular matchup to go stale for as long as it can. Kezu is now 6, so is Collapse. I doubt we'll have any black holes yet, but we might have a kill. Top lane, Shad in danger. Soul Rip will keep him alive, but Yotoro running him down. They've got more than enough damage, and with Miboshka's Purifying Flames, that is going to be a kill. Celery now also in danger. Will they be able to chase him? Yotoro gets underneath the tier 1, but they are loath to try and deepen their chase for that one. Still, massive pickup. Not only be able to find the possibility of a kill onto Shad, but doing it with Yotoro, and now the lifestealer gets to keep farming. Sure, he's not the one that gets the last hit, but you're still so happy with this lane. And remember, this isn't some off-lane axe who's having a rough game. It is what it is. The struggle is real. This is your safe laner, so you really do not want to have him be the one that's having a difficult start to the game. Links, send me a PM, then I'll just send the link back in. Mr. Jaeger did allow us to add some exceptions for how to allow links, but yeah, he's the god. I forgot the command, I'll be honest. Just send me the DM and then I'll paste the link in the chat. It's all good. Chat. Eating more damage top and another death to, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Did that actually just happen? Did they lose Shad again? That can't happen. That cannot happen. Not especially when you're doing as well as you are on other quarters of the map. It literally stops you from being able to advance forward now. Because consider this, right? With this axe doing as badly as he is, who's the only person now who's going to be able to jump into the middle of the fights is going to be either dying or rushing forward, or maybe once Boom has BKB, he feels confident of being able to be in that situation, like moving forward, soaking up all the spells and damage from Team Spirit. But it's still going to be a while until BKB, so because Axe won't be available to do that job, it means that there is, very similar to what we saw in the latter portions of the mid game in game 1, more time that Team Spirit is spending not really playing into the pace of Viking, and rather getting the gold, experience, and items needed to play the pace of their own. Bottom, Collapse. Ooh, is Collapse dead? Yeah, Collapse is dead. Bye bye. Boom will find him. Great rotation coming in from the SF. He pulls up. They find the kill. Alright, so here is Baroda's contribution to the Voices conversation. Just linked it in chat for y'all right now. One thing that I also find really problematic about this game, like really, this is going to be a massive issue, right? Is, remember when I was talking about like the big team fight that they have? They are, as long as Black Hole is up, of course you don't want to fight into Black Hole, right? But when Black Hole is down, because of how low these cooldowns are from the side of Team Spirit, I could literally see them losing a 4-hero Black Hole fight, respawning, and then going straight into another engagement with no time needed to refresh in the meantime. So Viking, if they're not able to get forced an advantage now, start pressing these towers now, it's harder and harder and harder and harder and harder because it requires more investment out of you to feel safe making that maneuver in future. So Acid Black Gaming, at the end of this countdown, I'm losing power. Electricity is going away from my residence or my area, not even my house. And as a result, we will not have the ability to continue in the Dota stream. Feels bad, man. Fortunately, we'll be back tomorrow. Those grand finals tomorrow. And they did announce that this particular round of load shedding should end tomorrow morning, so if my government is telling the truth, we'll be fine tomorrow. If not, we're screwed, but it is what it is. So sad. Aramis. They're coming towards him now. And he did manage to get off a very nice observer ward to break the smoke of both Meposhka and the puck. Scout them out with the vision of the ward. Really, really big plays there from Aramis. It also buys some solo time top, so Shad gets something out of that lane. Oh, they're gonna lose Collapse again. But unless you lose this tower, you don't actually care that much about losing him, so they have to press this. And there we go. There's no treants in this game. Therefore, the tower will fall quite easily. Taken out by Boom. You love to see it. The question is whether or not they can keep that kind of pace going. Look how far ahead Boom and Kezu are versus where Shad is at this point. Honestly, they would have rather had Kezu be the one that's this far behind. At least Shad getting something. Gonna be a call top. Shad might die again. Barrow Strike will be there. They're not gonna trigger the epi just yet. Arrow. Oh, what? It actually hit. Where's the faith? Team Spirit. You've got Mira Miranda. Gotta have faith that these arrows will hit. So they abandon the chase onto this axe. And he will end up living. They will now just get a quick kill onto Aramis. Kezu blinks away from the Barrow Strike. Doesn't connect with the Sand King there. Baroda, by the way, whose voice is that in the video that you linked? Tell us who that is. Tell us that story. I mean, you have to tell me. I'm about to lose power, so I won't be able to see it. The thing is though, Viking, despite them being able to find a way to defend the life of Shad, you're still giving up the tower advantage in the top lane. You're happy with this though because you expected this to happen a lot sooner. And your push is way faster than the opponent, so it's not all doom and gloom. It's fine.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, Jareen, take it easy, fam. Take it easy. Good night, comrade. Sleep tight. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Also, for those of you who might not be around for the stream tomorrow, a new YouTube video is also going to come out for the group stages. We already did one for the wild card. And the group stage video will release on the morrow. It's going to be fun. Collapse. Big thing about having the Sand King here, there's gonna come a point where he might start to feel he doesn't necessarily want to be the first one into the fight, but ideally wants to be able to reserve the Barrow Strike for counter initiation against the Enigma. We're still a while away from that point, but its possibility will also mean Enigma should start prioritizing getting the BKB ASAP. Make sure that point in the game is never even possible for the Sand King. Force Toronto Tokyo to have to rush the Aghanim Scepter from the jump. SNY going to be the itemization for your Toro to follow this Maelstrom. Something we don't see often on lifestealers is just straight into Maelstrom rush. Normally it's Armlet first, SNY first, and then maybe you pivot back for the Maelstrom. Even if you just stop for a Yasha. But straight into the Maelstrom. Atypical for the lifestealer. People normally love giving him some stats with their first big item on him. Speaking of big items, we do not have the Blink Dagger for Shad. We will need this item. So early game farm is still going well though for the side of Vikings, since they have not had to have the really annoying situation of dealing with Axe and lane. Oh, top. Yeah, to on to Kezu. Yeah, since Axe hasn't had to deal with this lifestealer for a while, has given him enough time to sort of catch up on items. Still though, nice pick. Bringing down Kezu on the other side of the map. Doesn't give them much space to go for a tower though, which is what they desperately want, right? This mid tower needs to fall for them. But with Boom in the vicinity, Shad smoked up, waiting to reveal the Blink Dagger. It becomes more and more difficult to envision that they can actually make that easy jump. We're gonna get it though. Toronto Tokyo gets caught out. Arrow though comes in. Doesn't actually hit onto anybody because they all flee away from the area. Dream Coil on the two. There's a tombstone drop down as well. They're actually losing the Lion. Lion's gonna be the first casualty here. And they follow that up by also bringing down Aramis with Celery. How did that happen with both supports dying? That fight looked so decent, but they just got split up. They couldn't actually close the gap. And now they're looking for a counter initiation with Collapse. Blink Dagger with an Infest target. Who will they find? Shad and Boom both sitting close to the tier 1 and middle. Of course, Boom is the big target if they can get him, but the fear of being counter initiated on by Shad is very scary. Arrow is actually gonna come in, catches Lion immediately as he TPs in, and Aramis will get bursted, thrown back in the opposite direction. You just came from the fountain, my friend? Nah, take it home. Take it home. Go hang out, bro. They just told Aramis that he'd actually won a new hot tub. He needs to test it out in the fountain. Inquel now. They're committed. Going out onto Boom. Chicago Shonkin struggling to do the damage by himself, but Collapse will help out by throwing in the EP. There's the black hole though from Kezu. First one of the game with the Requiem follow-up. They'll have enough damage to kill the one. Can they get both? False Promise will keep the puck alive for now. Not gonna be able to keep him alive forever though, as it's a double kill for Boom. They get the tier 1 tower, but they're gonna lose their own. They lose 2 heroes. They were the ones going for that play, but Boom, what a time to reveal a 9-second BKB.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And they were so close. Any amount of additional damage would have been enough to bring down the Shadow Fiend. I mean, look at this, right? Barrel Strike, MP. If that arrow connects, he's dead. If 2 hits hit him, he's dead. Instead, he gets off the BKB, black hole on the 2, and suddenly the fight turns instantly. Magnificent play there from the side of Viking GG. First black hole, gets 2 core kills. Now the question is going to be, what else can you make happen in this period of time? Arrow. Hit Celery with this, so at least they get something back on the side of Team Spirit. Not going to be to the same magnitude of allowing them to get a tier 1 or something, but it's something. They also get Aramis on the other side, just more gold in the coffers for Toronto Tokyo. Closer and closer we go towards having Blink Dagger, and then that's where things start to become really interesting, right? Ooh, nice dodge bottom. Look at this guy, man. Look at this guy. Sydney, San Francisco, out here. Back towards top. Shad getting the blink call. The whole team is showing up for this. Arrow does connect onto the axe. Yotaro, can he get out of this? They try to escape with Meposhka. He'll happily commit his life. And Miroslav will turn just into an express transport agency for the lifestealer, getting him out of dodge.
Is under attack.
Arrow. Didn't Celery die right here? Literally the exact same place like 2 seconds ago. Shad does find 2 heroes with the Berserker's Call. Hex going out. Aramis with the Finger of Death. They have enough damage with the Culling Blade as well to bring down Yotaro. He popped out. He didn't have to. Epicenter though going back towards Aramis. Okay, cool. I'll lose Aramis in exchange for bringing down one of your biggest heroes any day of the week. There's going to be a usage of a Requiem at middle. I think Boomer just afraid he was being closed in on by Collapse, so rather just get the fear, bounce him back, and Collapse is going to come back for a little double damage route on Toronto Tokyo. There's going to be the Dream Coil, BKB, popped by the Shadow Fiend. Gonna swagger forward, and they get forced back. I suppose you're just happy to have taken out a BKB charge. You're like, sure bro, we'll take it. BKB! Time is ticking down, everybody. Blink Dagger just got grabbed by Aramis. Alright, now with this Blink in tow for Aramis, we already have Blink for Kezu. Really good game already for the Shadow Fiend. And Shad looks to be making quite a good turnaround in his own development. I do think this game can go for Viking. I think we'll get a third one. I hope we're wrong, if I'm honest. Selfish as it may be, I'll feel okay if Team Spirit 2-0 this. Because then at least it means that you got to see most of the matchup on stream. Deeply selfish, I know. But allow me to be human once in a while.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tier 2 tower, this time around there is nobody nearby to help them to save this. Sad. They're gonna still smoke though, looking for a potential fight that might come in the aftermath of the tower going down. They want to defend the outpost in advance if possible. It does seem that Team Spirit aware that a move like this might be being planned, so they're not being very careful about moving in towards the outpost area. Although now they infest themselves. Gonna come for a fight. Moonlight Shadow already been used, and there is gonna be a nice core. Miboshka, the first one caught out. There's gonna be Collapse, opening up space with the Burrow Strike. Can they get this Oracle out of here? Puck on the high ground. Mira gets hexed up by Aramis. They found the vision. Shadow to core. Easy kill. No buyback available either. So this should actually be Roshan getting taken down by Boom. I'm gonna throw in orb after orb after orb. The right clicks. Alright, we'll just have enough time for the last Roshan fight. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Go in, boys. Go in, boys. Do the right thing right before the stream dies. What's this fight gonna look like? They don't want to give up this Aegis. Preventing Boom from getting the first Aegis in game 1, in some respects, help them win the game. Let's see what they can do now. Collapse, he's going in. Burrow Strike will be there. Doesn't get the Aegis though. Black Hole will be there almost instantly, and Boom snatches the Aegis. Did get the Roshan kill, but now the Toro might be in danger. Dream Coil on the 2. Shad now trying to survive this. Shad taking way too much damage. False Promise will come out. Arrow threading the needle. Mira cannot find anybody from this. And that's a lot of damage from Yotoro. You need to leave here. Shad getting the nice call, bringing back the Marana. Marana is going to be finding herself dead, but took away the Aegis life from Boom. Hashtag worth. Hashtag worth. Hashtag worth. So everybody, since we're probably going out in a couple of seconds, I love you all. You are all incredible. Please make sure. Wait, do I have enough time? Do I have enough time? We'll try. Please make sure, if you haven't already, follow the stream, follow me on Twitter, look out for the new videos coming out, decide to support by subscribing. You can also become a patron and or make a young one-time donation. Enough donations will eventually get a homie a generator, so we do not have to worry about these kind of things. So yeah, so I'm gonna go back to the game. Just wanted to do that before the power bursts off. Thank you, I love y'all. Y'all are incredible, and I'll see you tomorrow. We'll try to see how long we can stay out here now for, but we'll see you tomorrow. Back in the game. Oh yeah, I've got floating fingers because I bought green gloves. So they're green striped, and I've got a green screen now, so it all clips through. Look, I'll show you. You literally can't see me, boys. Out here being John Cena in this bitch. Boom and the boys. Off the back of this Aegis, this game is slowly but surely seeming like it's gonna go in their favor. Quite difficult to imagine a turnaround happening from the side of Team Spirit. They're gonna try smoke up now though. Looking middle. Who gets infested? They infest Collapse. They're gonna smoke. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? There's no more Aegis to have to worry about, right? So that's the reason why they feel safe making these kind of moves, despite having lost the previous engagements. And the gold lead, they can probably feel that it's not that substantial. And they get vision. Who do they find here? Collapse. Smoke will pop. Yeah, there's nobody that you can really gank off for this. So I think you just let this one go. Let this one go. Back up. Keep farming on your side of the map. Do not worry about it.